Good morning. Today we're going to do rear brake pads on a 2005 XL 1200 custom. So I figured she started to squeak and get a little noisy. Let's service the rear brake pads and see if they need new ones. We will proceed in taking the pads out, inspecting, and replacing if needed. Checking brake fluid and seeing what that looks like. First thing I'm going to do is check the fluid level. Sometimes people might, as the brakes wear, people put more fluid in, and what that does when you contract the pistons, it sends the fluid up and it could overflow. All right, this is .5 fluid, so it will not cause any damage to your paint. As you see, nobody has put more fluid in here. These pads will wear. Obviously, the pistons move out and the fluid lowers. So when I contract these pistons, that fluid will get higher. Just be conscious of it. Some people, they take the cap off, they see the fluid, they top it off, and then when you go to do brake pads, the fluid gets all over the place. But this is .5, so you'll have no problems. With that, I'm going to put the cap to the side and we'll keep an eye on that. This is the cap that protects the pin that holds your pads. Let's remove that cap. Be careful. Just a little screw. It protects the Allen head hardware that holds your brake pads in place. So it turns out to be a 5mm Allen head for this pin. All I'm going to do is loosen it. I'm not going to pull the pin out yet. All right. It's almost out. As you see, here's your pads. You got one here and one there. They're at about 60%. So what I'm going to do is take them out, clean them up, run through a service, put them back together, and squeaking sound should be gone. I'm going to take a screwdriver and just slowly. Now that moves it just enough to start. So what I'm going to do is take one hand here and push this in. Now push it out, push it in, and just slowly work it with that screwdriver. You see what I'm doing? Taking the screwdriver. So what I'm trying to do is to collapse that caliper piston. Take your time and just hold it. Now, if we were putting new pads in, you would want to collapse this 100%. So you have no problems. Now this could slide right in. Now with a little pair of pliers, grab this rear pad and you'll see it's spring loaded. Okay. Now you'll notice it. There's your pad, drops back. And comes out of the slot. We'll put this one over here. Now we remove the pin all the way. You'll notice it has a spring to it. Let it relax. And here's the next pad. So now you see the way this is, and the pistons are all in. So now here's our caliper, the pads are out. They're at like 50, 60%. I will keep them. I have new pads, but why put new ones in? They only squeak. I'll clean them up. Now you can see the piston in the caliper is all the way in. So now if you had new pads, you would do the front one, slide the pin, the rear one, put the pin completely through. What I want to do is clean these pads up with some brake cleaner and get rid of the edge, and they'll be as good as new. Knock the edge off. What happens is it gets a fine edge, and that causes noise. Deburr it. Clean it. And your noise will go away. All right, that's cleaned up enough. Now we'll get the inside one. Same thing. This is standard fluid, Walmart. Brake cleaner. Exactly what I'm doing. I just want to point out, now you see this is at the proper level because the pistons are all the way in. So right now, it would be like there was brand new brake pads in here. Now this fluid, you look into it, looks fairly decent. I am going to change this out. And I would not want to get any debris or anything. All right, I got to just remember to tighten it later. Let's put the pads in. I'm going to clean this pin up a little bit. You don't want to give it any chance to hang up on anything. If you keep it clean, it will stay clean. If you let it get all corroded, you'll end up with a brake problem of some sort. .40 steel wool. I just want to get it as clean as possible. Nice and smooth. Nothing can hang up on it. I put a little dot of Never Sees just on the thread. All right, you see the back, nice and clean. This is our front. What we're gonna do is you're gonna slide it in. You'll feel it hit the spot. And there we go. Slide the pin in. You'll feel it spring-loaded. That's one. Now you're able to push this in. Now with this piston all the way in, you'll have no problem. Now for this one, same thing. Now go from the back. And you'll feel it. It'll hit that slot. You'll know it because now it's able to spring up. There it is. Now you have it lined up. Now if you can see that, here's the pin. Slid through the first one, slid through the second one. Now we're going to thread this in, and then this job is done. With a little extension. I have a dab of Never Sees, not much. That stuff is a mess. Our pin is nice and clean. Check your torque specs. I snug it up. After a while, you'll get a feel for how you took something apart. Nice. Now the last thing is this protecting cap. Don't forget it. Thread it in there. Now that protects it from corrosion. Now we look at the brake fluid. It's right where it's supposed to be. Just tighten that up. Now remember, this is .5. Not a problem on paint. So now we service the brakes. They're at like 50-60%. We check the brake fluid. Look good. My next video I will be doing a brake fluid change. And now you want to pump it up so you'll feel this will not have much, and then you'll see it get hard. Soft, soft. There you go. And now we're going to take it for a test ride. If you have any questions, just ask. And if you could, please subscribe, thumbs up, and leave a comment if I forgot something or you want to add something. Thank you. Have a great day and ride safe.